on this Sunday, April 5th, reporting from homes across the state. This is the Appalachian Weekly News. I'm Anna Muckenfuss. We have your local update following developments in the COVID-19 pandemic, followed by an additional news report and Spanish translations. I'm Marin-Lopez here with your COVID-19 update for Boone, North Carolina. App Healthcare identified 2 individuals in Watauga County with COVID-19 in a press release Tuesday. The first individual is a Watauga County resident with travel history. App Healthcare is currently investigating their close contacts. The other case involves an individual who resides elsewhere but is in isolation in Watauga County. Close contacts for this individual are now in quarantine. These 2 positive cases brought the total number to 6. However, a 7th case was discovered April 1st. The 7th individual had travel history and is recovering. Local health department staff have identified close contacts who have been quarantined. Watauga Medical Center is preparing for more cases of coronavirus with a new 20 isolation beds. Additionally, a tent was set up in the parking lot of the medical center for possible future needs. Vicki Stevens, Appalachian Regional Healthcare Systems media contact, says, quote, ARHS is working closely with local partners and agencies to monitor the daily changes with the COVID-19 pandemic and will adjust our response and capacity as needed in collaboration with those partners, end quote. As of April 3rd, there are 2,093 cases in North Carolina and 19 deaths. Watauga County currently has 7 cases. There is now 1 positive case in Ashe County, according to an App Healthcare press release. The individual had close contact to someone with a travel history. The health department identified all the individual's close contacts who are now in quarantine. In the press release, Jennifer Green, health director for App Healthcare, said, quote, we have been preparing should we see a positive case of COVID-19 in Ashe County. Now that we have a positive case, we will continue to work diligently to protect the public's health. It is our top priority and we will work to keep the community informed. The release also stated that App Healthcare is working with local agencies to protect the health of Ashe County residents. Now we go to our reporter Anna Muckenfuss, who is more on Boone Police adjusting their protocol in response to COVID-19. Thanks, Xanayra. Watauga Medical Center may be making some adjustments, but so is the Boone Police Department. To protect officers and citizens, police protocols have been adjusted to maximize social distancing. According to a press release issued by the department, any and all reports made will be assessed to see if an in-person officer response is necessary. Dana Crawford is the Boone Police Chief. Crawford says that any changes to protocol are to reduce the possibility of spreading coronavirus in the community.
If we have an officer answer a call and there's a potential exposure there, then they go to a wreck scene and they're potentially exposing the next guy. So we're trying to limit just so some of those non-essential functions that where we can to protect the public.
Speaking of police, the Watauga County Sheriff's Office is enforcing an executive order made by Governor Roy Cooper. However, the order hasn't kept people from going to popular hangout spots like the Old Dam and Trash Can Falls during warmer weather. Lynn Hageman is the Watauga County Sheriff. He says that the Sheriff's Office wants to make sure that people are aware that violating the executive order can result in a Class 2 misdemeanor. Watauga County is also working to prevent the spread of coronavirus by closing playgrounds, courts, and picnic shelters. Daron Gioke is the Watauga County manager. Gioke says that he realizes everyone needs an outlet for physical activity, which is why trails and walking areas remain open. Gioke confirmed that the Greenway Trail remains open, but if too many people are using it or people are not practicing social distancing, then it will close. I'm Anna Muckenfuss, and now we go to John Park with more local news coverage.
Thanks, Anna. As we all know by now, COVID-19 has been with us in the United States since February, when the first case was confirmed in Washington state. Now, North Carolina has over 2,000 confirmed cases across 86 counties. Major industries, governments, and schools alike have all felt the impact of the coronavirus. Local businesses, though, are struggling in the wake of the pandemic, especially restaurants, which are now limited to curbside and drive-through options only, after Governor Roy Cooper signed an executive order mandating that restaurants close their dine-in services. The Boone Chamber of Commerce has noticed that it's been hampering local businesses in the region and has been working diligently to provide the community with information about their favorite local spots. David Jackson, president of the Boone Chamber of Commerce, says that their efforts are to serve as a mechanism for larger entities and small businesses alike during this time.
We are part of a community-wide messaging strategy that we're really trying to help not only communicate things like hours of operation and operational changes that businesses have had, but then also serving as a mechanism for the health department, for the school system, for App State and some of the other larger community entities as a way to get messaging to certain elements of our community.
While Jackson and his team at the Chamber of Commerce are working diligently to keep businesses afloat, there are some businesses that are adapting better than others.
Their restaurants are trying to do the best they can at managing expenses and income in a very new reality for them that does not translate as easily to butts and seats inside of a restaurant or bar. So we have seen some restaurants make that change to do curbside and takeout and all that stuff, and then realize that that's not a sustainable business model, and they've shut down completely.
Those who live and work in the region are encouraged to shop and eat local in a safe and responsible manner. You can tag posts about your meals or goods online using the hashtag HCLocalFirst. Now, here's Katie Garceran with all the latest on the UNC System's admissions process for this upcoming fall. Katie?
Thanks so much. UNC schools made changes to enrollment because of postponed or canceled SAT and ACT testing. Each UNC university can choose to admit students with a 2.5 GPA. The student must also have a combined SAT score of 1010 or an ACT score of 19. Bill Roper is the UNC System interim president. He says a prorated refund will be offered to students who paid for housing or meal plans. Refunds will vary across the states as price varies. App State directs students in need of emergency funds to apply for Mountaineer Emergency Fund grants. Clinical hours for nursing students are canceled starting March 30th. Tia Dawson is the adjunct clinical director. She says clinical days will continue online via virtual assignments. She says students who complete their clinical hours can still graduate in May. On a similar note, student teaching has also moved to online for the rest of the semester. Hannah Reeder is the director of clinical education at the Raish College of Education. She says she does not think the move to online will impact anyone passing student teaching or graduating on time. While social distancing is essential for people's safety, it's had unforeseen effects on mental health. Chris Hogan is the director of counseling and psychological services. He says the term physical distancing should be used instead. He says this way we maintain social connection while staying physically away from others. App State announced April 3rd that students can choose to opt in for Pass No Credit grading system. A Pass No Credit grading system means any student who gets between a D and an A will receive a P for pass. If a student receives an F, they will get no credit. A pass grade fulfills degree requirements and prerequisites for future classes, but does not count towards the student's GPA. Students can choose to make this switch on BannerNet starting April 20th. Students have until May 17th to finalize this decision. For more information on the specific policies for undergraduate and graduate students, visit theappalachianonline.com. Now, we all know COVID-19 has had a rough impact on us humans. Our correspondent Anna Muckenfuss wanted to check in on our furry friends to see how they're holding up during this pandemic.
More North Carolinians are working from home after Governor Roy Cooper issued a stay-at-home order, which went into effect on March 30th, altering work and school schedules. But humans aren't the only ones who find routines comforting. So do our furry friends. But changes could mean stress for our pets. With more people at home, there could be more playtime and extra treats. But Margaret Gruen, a veterinarian at NC State, says that when humans go back to work, there could be an increase in pets experiencing separation anxiety.
I think that what's different about this time now is that in some ways the relationship with the dogs especially has changed a bit, because not only are we home, but we're really not going out and we're really not seeing other friends and having other people come in. So the dogs become a much closer companion.
Sky Kale is the owner of Teddy, a golden retriever in training to be a service dog. Kale says now that Teddy isn't working every day, he has developed some bad habits.
He's honestly so bored. He's bored out of his mind. He's picked up a lot of habits because I guess that's another golden retriever thing. He steals a bunch of things he finds, and it's like all he does. He's just so bored, so he's a thief now. He's reverted to crime.
Kathy Chris, a doctor at Appalachian New River Veterinary Associates, says that engaging your pet with a food puzzle or toys is a good way to relieve stress.
I think that the negative impacts of isolation can be minimized if we're spending a little extra time focusing on our critters. I think our own self-care can be really important too, because when we're feeling really stressed or anxious, they are aware of that.
Chris says since there still is so much unknown about the virus, it is best to limit your pet's exposure to other humans and to instead spend as much time with them as you can at home. For the Appalachian Weekly News, I'm Anna Muckenfuss.
Thanks for the update, Anna. I'm coming to you from Burlington, North Carolina with some new information for the town of Boone. As of 5 p.m. March 31st, all travelers arriving in Watauga County for overnight stays are required to self-quarantine. These new guidelines will be added to the Watauga County state of emergency. This new order is in place for residents and non-residents of the county. Self-quarantine must last for 14 days or until 7 days after symptoms have resolved, whichever is longer. The only exception to this order is for essential workers. Officials are hopeful that people will comply voluntarily, but law enforcement agents will be enforcing this order. According to a press release, failure to comply could result in a Class 2 misdemeanor. Governor Roy Cooper announced a new executive order that prohibits utilities from being shut off for the next 60 days. Gas, electric, and water cannot be shut off for those who are unable to pay during this public emergency. Cooper urged telecommunication companies to do the same, and for banks to not charge overdrafts or late fees. Executive Order 124 directs utility companies to give their customers 6 months to pay any outstanding bills, and prohibits these companies from collecting fees or interest from late payments. As of April 1st, the Hospitality House cut its morning hours. It is now open from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. The food pantry is still open 7 days a week. The community kitchen will continue to serve 3 meals a day as takeout and will serve food through the drive-thru. The Hospitality House offers essential services under Governor Cooper's stay-at-home order. Volunteers are allowed to leave their houses because they're volunteering for essential purposes. No one living in the Hospitality House has tested positive for COVID-19. That's all from me today. Up next, we have Xanayra, who has the story on how the virus is affecting student teachers. Education majors student teaching at App State would have continued to see smiles on their students' faces, meet at their assigned schools, assist teachers with lessons, and interact with school staff. However, because of the COVID-19 pandemic, spring semester student teaching placements are different than usual. Student teaching has not been terminated. School district partners are continuing to allow student teachers to participate in teacher workdays and online teaching. With students placed in over 40 school districts across North Carolina, working remotely and providing online instruction is different for each. Student teaching typically takes place during elementary and middle grades education majors' senior year, after 2 practicums, Block 1 and Block 2. These practicums or internships are completed while taking classes. They consist of 12 full days in an elementary school classroom throughout the semester. Student teaching is every school day for an entire semester. On March 14th, Governor Roy Cooper announced that all K-12 public schools would be closed until at least March 30th. Cooper later issued an executive order that extended the closure through May 15th. I spoke with Jill May, a senior elementary education major, who explained to me how her internship was adjusted due to the virus.
My clinical educator and I conference called our class individually and talked to them and parents. We talked to the parents and made sure they had everything they needed and that they were good, and if there was anything we could do for them. And so that's what I've been doing with my clinical educator. We just kind of called them and talked to them, and it was really good to hear from them because I miss them a lot.
Hannah Reeder, Director of Clinical Education for the Wright College of Ed, advises student teachers to finish their semester strong by continuing to assist their clinical educators with online instruction. Reeder says she is proud to say that student teachers have stepped up to the plate, saying, quote, "They have assisted in developing packets to send home with K-12 students, finding online resources and tools for K-12 students to use at home, creating online lessons, meeting with students via online platforms such as Zoom, and many other activities to support their clinical educators in transitioning to online teaching, end quote. Despite not being in the classroom for the rest of the semester, Jill says her concerns lie in her students' well-being.
I worry about my kids a lot. I think that's just part of being a teacher is you end up connecting with your kids a lot and you care about them so much. You want to make sure that someone's with them at home or someone is smiling at them or someone's giving them a hug today. And I think that's just the biggest fear I've had since being home is wondering, have they ate? Has someone smiled at them? How are they doing? Are they okay? Is someone with them? What are they doing to keep busy at home?
Hannah Reeder said she does not anticipate COVID-19 preventing any student teacher from passing student teaching or graduating on time. The COVID-19 pandemic has also not taken away placement in student teaching. The College of Ed is constantly updating students via email as new information is released or changes are made at state and local levels. For the Appalachian Weekly News, I'm Xanayra Marin-Lopez.
Hello again, everybody. It's Grace Smith here to give you some helpful resources for COVID-19. Information regarding the virus and symptoms can be found on the CDC's website at cdc.gov/coronavirus. Again, that is cdc.gov/coronavirus. For North Carolina specific resources, you can visit the Division of Public Health's website at ncdhhs.gov/coronavirus. Again, that is ncdhhs.gov/coronavirus. Lastly, you can call a COVID-19 hotline dedicated to answering general and non-emergency questions at 1-866-462-3821. Again, that is 1-866-462-3821. Stay safe and healthy, everyone. Make sure to wash your hands and practice social distancing. Have a great week, and thank you for tuning in.
Hi, I'm Connor Davidson with a quick update in sports. App State football has shifted its focus due to the coronavirus outbreak. Head coach Sean Clark said the first priority is making sure all players and coaches are safe and taken care of. With practices canceled, Clark has now worked to get a jump on recruiting and get offers out to players. Beyond football, Coach Clark has also been very vocal in supporting local businesses in Boone and encouraging others to do the same. In other football news, App State defensive end Elijah Diarasuba announced his retirement on March 17th. Diarasuba made the announcement after fighting a hip injury for most of the 2019 season, in which he had 20 tackles, 3.5 tackles for loss, and 1.5 sacks. He finishes his App State career as a 4-time Sun Belt champion and a 4-time bowl champion. App State football's Heroes Day is scheduled for November 11th against Georgia State. For this game, military personnel, first responders, and veterans get free admission to the game. This year, healthcare workers will also get free admission for their efforts in fighting the coronavirus pandemic. That's all I have for sports. Now let's go to Hadasa Rivera Marin for your Spanish language COVID-19 update.
Mi nombre es Hadasa Rivera. Hoy es domingo 5 de abril y estoy aquí con su actualización regional de COVID-19. Con el clima cálido y la orden inminente de quedarse en casa a partir del 30 de marzo, muchas personas acudieron a lugares populares como el Old Dam y Trash Can Falls el sábado pasado. Mientras la gente acudía en masa a esos lugares, los agentes del alguacil del condado de Watauga pidieron que se retiraran. La orden ejecutiva 120, promulgada el 30 de marzo, prohíbe las reuniones de más de 50 personas. El alguacil Len Hagman dijo que las agencias estatales y locales tienen la tarea de hacer cumplir la orden ejecutiva. El condado de Watauga, Beach Mountain, Blowing Rock, Boone y Seven Devils cerraron todos los parques infantiles el 30 de marzo. Esta acción es una medida preventiva para frenar la propagación del virus y disminuir su impacto en la comunidad del condado de Watauga. El cierre de los parques también aplica a los patios escolares. Sin embargo, las instalaciones de cuidado infantil seguirán funcionando, ya que están exentas de este cierre. El sistema UNC cambió los requisitos de inscripción para los estudiantes debido a que el coronavirus pospuso o canceló las pruebas del SAT y el ACT. Cada universidad del sistema UNC puede elegir admitir estudiantes, ya sea con un promedio mínimo de 2.5 en la escuela secundaria, un puntaje combinado del SAT de 1010 o un puntaje de 19 del ACT. Las oficinas de admisión pueden admitir a un solicitante basándose solo en su puntaje de GPA, pero los estudiantes aún deben presentar un puntaje de prueba estandarizado con una solicitud, a menos que califiquen para una exención. La póliza entrará en vigencia por 3 años. El presidente interino del sistema UNC, Bill Roper, también dio una actualización sobre los reembolsos por los planes de vivienda y de comida. Dijo que el sistema UNC planea ofrecer reembolsos a los estudiantes que han pagado por alojamiento o planes de comida. El reembolso va a variar en todo el sistema, ya que cada costo es diferente. No se ha anunciado ningún plan final, pero Roper dijo que le gustaría tener los cheques en manos de los padres y estudiantes en 3 semanas. En base a una nueva orden, todas las personas, residentes o no residentes, que lleguen a pasar la noche en el condado de Watauga deben entrar en cuarentena por 14 días o hasta 7 días después de que los síntomas hayan resuelto. Esta orden solo aplica si el individuo pasó noches en un lugar fuera del condado de Watauga. En una conferencia de prensa el 31 de marzo, el gobernador Roy Cooper anunció una nueva orden ejecutiva que prohíbe desconectar los servicios públicos durante los próximos 60 días. La acción ordena que servicios como la electricidad, el cable, teléfono, la internet y el agua residual no se cierren para aquellos que no puedan pagar. La orden también alienta a los bancos a no cobrar sobregiros. La orden ejecutiva 124 ordena a las compañías de servicios públicos que otorguen a los clientes residenciales al menos 6 meses para pagar las facturas pendientes y prohíbe a esas mismas compañías cobrar tarifas, multas o intereses por pagos atrasados. La orden ha sido firmada por el gobernador y estará en vigencia por 60 días. Gracias por ver. Los mantendremos informados sobre más noticias sobre el nuevo coronavirus. A continuación, Xanayra Marin-Lopez con su reporte.
Gracias, Hadasa. Soy Saniye Marin-Lopez con tu actualización regional de COVID-19 el domingo abril 5. App Healthcare identificó a 2 personas en el condado de Watauga con COVID-19 en un comunicado de prensa el martes. El primero individuo es un residente del condado de Watauga con antecedentes de viaje. App Healthcare está investigando sus contactos cercanos. El otro caso involucra a una persona que reside en otro lugar, pero está aislada en el condado de Watauga. Los contactos cercanos para este individuo ahora están en cuarentena. Estos 2 casos positivos elevaron el número total a 6. Sin embargo, se describió un 7º caso el 1 de abril. El 7º individuo tenía antecedentes de viaje y se está recuperando. El personal del Departamento de Salud local ha identificado contactos cercanos que han sido puestos en cuarentena. Watauga Medical Center se está preparando para más casos de coronavirus con unas 920 camas de aislamiento. Además, se instaló una carpa en el estacionamiento del centro médico para posibles necesidades futuras. Vicky Stevens, contacto con los medios de Appalachian Regional Healthcare Systems, dice: ARHS está trabajando estrechamente con socios y agencias locales para monitorar los cambios diarios con la pandemia COVID-19 y ajustará nuestra respuesta y capacidad según sea necesario con colaboración con esos socios. En todo el estado, a partir del 2 de abril, hay 1,857 casos en Carolina del Norte y 16 muertes. El condado de Watauga actualmente tiene 7 casos. Watauga Medical Center puede estar haciendo algunos ajustes, pero también lo está el Departamento de Policía de Boone. Para proteger a los oficiales y ciudadanos, los protocolos policiales se han ajustado para maximizar el distanciamiento social. Según un comunicado de prensa emitido por el departamento, cualquier informe realizado se evaluará para ver si es necesaria la respuesta de un oficial. Dana Crawford es el jefe de policía de Boone. Crawford dice que cualquier cambio en el protocolo debe reducir la posibilidad de propagar el coronavirus en la comunidad. A partir del 1 de abril, la hospitality house cortó las horas de la mañana. ahora está abierto de 2 a 4 de la tarde. La despensa de alimentos todavía está abierta los 7 días de la semana. La cocina de la comunidad continuará sirviendo 3 comidas al día, como sacar y servir comida desde el disco hasta él. Hospitality House ofrece servicios esenciales bajo la orden de estadía en el hogar del gobernador Roy Cooper. Los voluntarios pueden salir de sus casas porque se ofrecen como voluntarios para fines esenciales. Nadie que vive en Hospitality House ha dado positivo por coronavirus. Ahora hay un caso positivo en el condado de Ashe, según un comunicado de prensa de App Healthcare. El individuo tuvo contacto cercano con alguien con antecedentes de viaje. El Departamento de Salud identificó todos los contactos cercanos del individuo que ahora está en cuarentena. En el comunicado de prensa, Jennifer Green, directora de salud de App Healthcare, dijo: "Nos hemos estado preparando si vemos un caso positivo de COVID-19 en el condado de Ashe. Ahora que tenemos un caso positivo, continuaremos trabajando diligentemente para proteger la salud del público. Es nuestra principal prioridad y trabajaremos para mantener informada a la comunidad". El comunicado también declaró que App Healthcare está trabajando con agencias locales para proteger la salud de los residentes del condado de Ashe. Los estudiantes de educación superior que enseñan en Upstate habrían seguido viendo sonrisas en los rostros de sus estudiantes y unirse a las escuelas asignadas, ayudar a los maestros con las lecciones e interactuar con el personal escolar. Sin embargo, debido a la pandemia de COVID-19, las vacaciones de enseñanza de los estudiantes el semestre de primavera son diferentes de lo habitual. La enseñanza de los estudiantes no ha finalizado. Los socios del distrito escolar continúan permitiendo que los estudiantes docentes participen en los días de trabajo de los maestros y la enseñanza en línea. Con los estudiantes ubicados en más de 40 distritos escolares en todo Carolina del Norte, trabajan de manera remota y proporcionan instrucción en líneas diferente para cada uno. La enseñanza de los estudiantes generalmente tiene lugar durante el último año de la especialidad Educación Primaria y Media después de 2 prácticas, Bloque 1 y Bloque 2. Estas prácticas son pacientes de completar mientras se toman clases. Consiste en 12 días completos en un ala de la escuela primaria durante todo el semestre. La enseñanza de los estudiantes de todos los días escolares durante el semestre completo. El 14 de marzo, el gobernador Roy Cooper anunció que todas las escuelas públicas K-12 permanecerían cerradas hasta al menos el 30 de marzo. Cooper ya emitió una orden ejecutiva que extendió la cierre hasta el 5 de mayo. Hablé con Jill May, una estudiante de último año de educación primaria, que me explicó cómo se ajustó su pasantía debido al virus.
Educator and I conference called our class like individually and talked to them and parents. We talked to the parents and made sure like they had everything they needed and that they were good, and if there was anything we could do for them. And so like that's what I've been doing with my clinical educator. We just kind of called them and talked to them, and it was really good to hear from them because like I miss them a lot.
Hannah Reeder, directora de Educación Clínica para el Wright College of Education, aconseja a los estudiantes docentes que terminen sus trimestres sólidamente a continuar ayudando a sus educadores clínicos con instrucción en línea. Reeder dice que está orgullosa de decir que los maestros docentes han dado un paso al frente, diciendo: "Han ayudado a desarrollar paquetes para enviar a casa con estudiantes de K-12, encontrar recursos y herramientas en línea para que los estudiantes de K-12 usen en casa, crear lecciones en línea y reunirse con estudiantes a través de plataformas en línea como Zoom y muchas otras actividades para apoyar sus educadores clínicos en la transición a la enseñanza en línea". A pesar de no estar en el salón de clases por el resto del semestre, Jill dice que sus preocupaciones residen en el bienestar de sus estudiantes.
I worry about my kids a lot. I think that's just part of being a teacher is like you end up like connecting with your kids a lot and you care about them so much. You want to make sure that someone's with them at home or someone is smiling at them or someone's giving them a hug today. And like, I think that's just like the biggest fear like I've had since being home is like wondering, have they ate? Has someone smiled at them? Like, how are they doing? Are they okay? Is someone with them? Like, what are they doing to like keep busy at home?
Hannah Reader dijo que no anticipa que COVID-19 impida que ningún maestro o alumno apruebe que enseñase o se gradúe a tiempo. La pandemia COVID-19 tampoco ha eliminado la colocación en la enseñanza de los estudiantes. El Colegio de Educación actualiza constantemente a los estudiantes por correo electrónico o medida que se publica nueva información o se realizan cambios a nivel estatal y local. Para los Appalachian Weekly News, soy Xanayra Marin-Lopez.
From all of us here at the Appalachian Weekly News, we want to thank you for watching. Have a great week. Please wash your hands, practice social distancing, and stay safe.